Hello everyone, thank you for being here today. This video is second part to my last week's video. So in my last week's video, I started talking about essentialism, and I also said in that video that I recently finished reading the book Essentialism, The Disciplined Pursuit of Less by Greg McKeown, and there are a lot of wow factors in that book. So I've been sharing few insights that I've collected from the book. I wanted to share 10 points from the book that I found really interesting. Now there are a lot of points and a lot of wow factors in the book. So if you think that this concept is of any interest to you, I highly recommend you to read the book. So now, without further ado, let's get into the video. Learning to say no more often. So in the book, Greg McKeown also talks about this point, and he says that though the society doesn't reward this, society doesn't want us to say no. Society would like us to say yes for everything, but that is not the right thing for us. And he says that the key reason for many failures is the undisciplined pursuit of more. So when we are trying to do everything for everyone, be there for everyone, when we are saying yes to everything just because we don't want to disappoint anyone, then that is what leads to our failure in life. When we want to do more of everything, that is very dangerous for us. So that's why it's very important to learn to say no more often. The seventh point is decision fatigue. Today we are in a generation where there are too many choices given to us. Because of this, we lose sight of the most important decisions or most important things and people in our lives. And Greg McKeown says that we have lost our ability to filter through what's important and what's not important. So in the book, he mentions the term decision fatigue, which is the more choices we are forced to make, the more the quality of decision we make starts to deteriorate. So it's very important to make sure that we do not let ourselves get into this situation of decision fatigue. When we have too many choices and when we start to get confused, that is when the choices that we make or the quality of choices that we make in life starts to deteriorate. So it's very important to stay focused and know what are the things that we want to focus on and what are the things that we simply can just ignore. And the eighth point is social media pressure. Now we all know that we are in this social media generation, and there are so many beautiful things about social media. This is a very different kind of era that we are living in, and we get to experience this beautiful world of social media. But at the same time, we also have to be very mindful and careful as to what are we consuming from social media. Yes, there are a lot of information that we can get from social media, but at the same time, there are also a lot of opinions, and we have to be very careful as to what we let in our life and what we just brush off from our life. So Greg McKeown says the problem with social media is not just the information overload, but also opinion overload, because everyone has an opinion today and everyone has something to say. But we got to be very mindful and careful and smart as to what kind of information we want to let into our lives. I am in the field of education and I'm an educator. I tell my students this all the time. You have to be very careful as to what information you are getting and how you analyze the information, because everyone will have an opinion. I have an opinion, and I do not want to transfer my opinion to my students. I will just want to give them the information, but then they got to form their own opinion. So that's very important. That is how we become smart and how we learn to think for ourselves. Yes, social media has a lot of beautiful things to offer, but at the same time, we got to be very mindful and careful as to what information we want to take in and what information we just can leave out. The ninth point that I would like to mention is being productive and not busy. Because we are a generation that somehow have started to glorify the hustle and the busyness, we somehow feel that if you are not constantly busy and doing something, you are not as productive. But according to Greg McKeown, he said it's not about being busy all the time, but being productive. He says that we got to learn to do less but better. He says when we do that, we can achieve the highest possible return on every precious moment of our life. So it's very important to know that it's not about business. Just because someone is constantly busy does not mean someone is better than you. If you are productive and if you can manage to do something within certain period of time, you could be doing better than someone else. It's some people like that feel of being busy all the time, but that does not necessarily mean that's better than not being as busy. We are all very different kinds of people, and I've learned that I am someone, if I'm doing too many things and if I'm constantly busy, then I know that I have not been as productive. When I'm able to slow down and take things at my own pace, I'm more productive and I do things better. So it's very important to understand this. Know that just because you are constantly busy or someone else is constantly busy does not mean that that individual is better than someone who is doing less but doing better things. So it's always about being productive over being busy. And the final point that I would like to mention is about authenticity. In the book, he says that we need to have the courage to live our true lives instead of trying to live lives that other expects of us. And he also talks about harnessing the courage we need to be on the right path. He says that it pays to reflect on how short our lives are. And because when we are able to think about our lives that way, when we're able to think that we do not have eternity to be here, we start to think about accomplishing things in the little time we have. And when we know that our time is limited, we do not waste our time on things that are not important. Thank you everyone for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed and I hope you liked this concept of essentialism. And again, if you are interested, please do your research and find more about this concept, because for me personally, I am a huge fan of this concept of essentialism, minimalism and all. So if you are someone like me and if you would like to know more, I hope you'll take some time to do your research and find things for yourself. And apart from that, thank you for being here. Let me tell you that it makes a huge difference when you show up and watch my videos. Yes, I do this as a hobby and I like making videos and sharing things that I've learned along the way, but it makes a huge difference when you come up here and show up and watch my videos. So I would like to tell you that I'm really grateful for you taking time to be here. When you take time to like my videos, when you take time to comment on my videos, it makes a huge difference, and you encourage me and you motivate me to do better. So thank you for that. And I really want to emphasize on this, that my heart is full and I'm always very grateful for you being here. So please take care of yourselves, stay healthy and stay safe. Bye bye for now. I'll see you all in my next video.